My name is Catherine Allen, and I'm 35 years old. I'm a freelance web designer and a pretty ordinary housewife. My husband, Tom, and I have been married for almost 5 years. We were supposed to be enjoying a peaceful married life, but lately we've been growing apart. Oh, Tom, welcome home.
Silence.
Even when I greet him after work, he barely responds. This has been going on for a while now. I've kept quiet up until now because I didn't want to upset him, but lately I've started feeling like I can't go on in this kind of relationship with him. Hey, Tom, we're almost at our 5-year anniversary, and given our ages, I'm starting to think about having kids. Don't you find it suffocating to keep living like this?
Not really. Forcing myself to talk to you is what I can't stand.
You don't have to put it that way.
Anyway, where's dinner?
What? You're actually eating tonight? Lately, you've been eating out so often that I just made something simple for myself since I didn't want to waste food.
All you do is lounge around the house every day, and you can't even handle basic chores. This is so frustrating. I'm going out.
Wait, Tom. Hold on. He throws his bag down, grabs his car keys, and leaves the house. This always happens. Whenever my husband and I get into an argument or if something annoys him, he just drives off somewhere in his beloved car without saying a word about where he's going. Sigh. We even built a new house, and originally we agreed to split the mortgage and utilities equally, but in the end, I'm the one paying for everything. We can't think about kids, and I'm shouldering all the burdens of the house on my own. Is there even a point in staying married if things keep going like this? With all these feelings weighing on me, I went about my life. Then one day, my husband came back from a week-long business trip. Tom, welcome back. You must be exhausted from the trip.
Silence.
My husband brushes past me and heads to his room. It seemed he was so tired that he just fell asleep without even taking a shower. He was snoring loudly, still in his suit, sprawled out on the bed. Normally, I'd just leave him be, but that day something caught my eye. He was on a week-long trip, but he only brought such a small bag. My husband's bag was laid out carelessly on the floor. The bag's half-open state caught my eye, and without even thinking, I found myself reaching out for it. But what I saw inside was more shocking than words like surprise could ever express. What is this? What does this mean? Why are there pictures like this? In the photos were my husband and a baby I didn't recognize. And my real sister, Rachel. Why? Why is Rachel? And that baby? Is that hers? But Mom hasn't mentioned anything like that. My sister Rachel Edison, who's 2 years older than me, has always been spoiled and acted like a queen.
Catherine, you're seriously ugly. It's embarrassing to have you as my sister. No way you have a boyfriend. You're probably just getting scammed.
I remember her saying that when I told her about how Tom and I started dating. We didn't plan on having a wedding ceremony, so when we got married, I didn't tell her myself, and instead, I had Mom pass the message along. Of course, she didn't say congratulations or anything like that. This isn't just an ordinary sibling-in-law relationship. Those two, they've been cheating on me all along. They've been deceiving me this whole time. In hindsight, it does make sense. 2 years ago, he suddenly started having more late nights and business trips. And yet, he wasn't contributing any money to our household, even though we just built this new house, and he showed no interest in it. That was all. It was all because he was with Rachel. And that baby. Could it be Tom's and Rachel's? Suppressing my shaking hands, I kept rummaging through his bag. At the bottom, hidden away, was an envelope with both a filled out marriage certificate and a divorce form. A marriage certificate, Tom and Rachel's names, and Tom's name is already on the divorce papers, too. My husband is probably planning to divorce me and marry my sister. I didn't want to believe that he'd betray me, but the papers in front of me were all the proof I needed. I can't forgive this. It's just too unfair. What does he think I am? I'll definitely get revenge. I'll drag those two down to hell. With my mind made up, I called someone who could help confirm my husband's affair. Hey, is this Amy? It's me.
Catherine, hey girl, long time no talk.
It's been a while. Sorry to call out of nowhere this late.
It's totally fine. What's up?
Actually, the person on the other end was Amy, my friend from high school and college. She works at the same company as my husband, though in a different department. I was surprised when I first found out, but we hadn't kept in close touch. I never thought I'd reach out to her like this. Amy, I need to ask you a favor.
I'll do whatever I can, of course. Doesn't sound like good news though, huh?
No, actually, I think Tom is having an affair.
What? Tom, are you serious? Why?
I only just figured it out. I found a picture.
You mean with the person he's cheating with? Did you take a pic of the evidence? Do you know who it is?
Yeah, I took a photo on my phone. And the other woman, it's Rachel.
Wait, what? Rachel? You're telling me your own sister is his?
That's right. And on top of that, there was a filled out marriage certificate and divorce papers. And
there's more?
there was a baby in the picture with them. A baby I've never seen before. I'm pretty sure it's Tom's and Rachel's. I hadn't seen Rachel in years, so I had no idea where she'd been living. She'd always been bad with money and often borrowed from her parents. Mom sometimes mentioned how frustrated she was by it when we talked on the phone. Seeing the picture made me realize so much. For the past couple of years, Tom and I hadn't been getting along, but I thought it was just because he'd been working late with frequent business trips, and we barely had any time together.
Wait, he was working late and going on business trips.
Amy's voice began to falter, and I didn't miss it. I already felt like I knew the answer, but asked, just to be sure. Tell me, Amy, is Tom's department really that busy? Is it the kind of place where they're always working overtime and going on business trips? After taking a deep breath, Amy slowly opened her mouth in response to my question.
Catherine, you're one of my closest friends, so I'm going to tell you the truth. Tom's department. Honestly, they're not that busy. Sure, they have their moments, but everyone's been leaving right on time for the past few months. And there shouldn't be any business trips either. I'm sure of it. I'll do whatever I can to help, so you can rely on me anytime.
Thanks, Amy. I appreciate it. After we hung up, I took a deep breath and somehow managed to get some sleep that night. The next day, after seeing my husband off to work, I left the house too. I headed to my parents' house, a few towns over. My parents were surprised by my unannounced visit, but they welcomed me with the same warm smiles as always.
Catherine, it's been so long. How have you been?
Catherine, you hardly ever come by. We talk sometimes, but it's not the same. I miss you.
Sorry, it's just I really don't want to run into Rachel.
Don't worry about that. She hasn't been back here in the past 2 years.
What? 2 years?
Yeah, now that you mention it. She used to drop by all the time asking to borrow money. Lately, though, she hasn't asked for anything. I figured she might be turning things around.
Exactly. Since you and Rachel are working so hard, maybe we could have a nice family dinner for once.
Actually, Dad, Mom, there's something important I need to tell you about Rachel. Seeing my serious expression, my dad and mom must have realized that something was off. The soft atmosphere from earlier shifted entirely, and both of them looked straight at me. So, Dad, Mom, I hate to say this, but Rachel has a child.
What?
What?
And the father of that child, I think it's Tom.
Oh, hey, Catherine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, really. Are you just tired or something? Did you get into a fight with Tom? If so, you could just stay here at our place until things settle down.
It's true. Here, look at this. The photo showing my husband, Rachel, and the baby. I presented my smartphone screen, which held the evidence. When my mom saw it, she was left speechless, her face paling visibly. Meanwhile, my dad turned bright red and raised his voice in anger.
What in the world is going on? Are you telling me those two are really involved like that?
Yes, it seems so. There was a filled-out marriage certificate and divorce papers along with the picture.
Those two. What on earth do they think you are to them? I'll give them both a piece of my mind right now. I'll call them here immediately.
Wait, Dad, I have a plan. I managed to calm him down and shared my plan for revenge. My parents accepted it quickly and agreed to help. Finally, the day arrived.
Starting next week, I'll be on a 2-week business trip.
2 whole weeks?
Got a problem with that?
No, not at all. I know it's a lot, but hang in there.
So annoying.
As Tom muttered complaints and went into his room, I couldn't help but let a little grin slip across my face. Oh, just you wait. You're going to regret this so much. The following week, the moment he left, I headed straight to a detective agency and hired them to investigate him. With my parents' help, I moved all my belongings back to my family's house. During the 2 weeks, Tom would likely be living with my sister. Everything was prepared. 2 weeks later, while I was at my family's house, I got a call from him. Hello.
Hey, what the hell is going on?
Oh, what's wrong? Why are you so flustered?
What's wrong? I got home and found a bunch of strangers living there. I told them it's my house, but they wouldn't listen. Explain what's going on.
Explain what's going on. Well, strangers were living there. That's really all there is to it, isn't it?
Quit with this nonsense and get them out. Where even are you? And you took my car, didn't you? Don't go joyriding in my car. Just get back here now.
Your car? What are you talking about? You don't have a car.
What the hell are you saying?
Oh, you mean that car in my dad's name that he was letting you use? Yeah, I sold it, so it's gone now.
What? You sold it without asking me.
Why would I need your permission? That car was bought by my dad in his name.
Well, that might be true, but he bought it as a thank you for marrying his daughter, right? It was basically a gift for me.
Yes, my dad had indeed bought it. It was a gesture of appreciation for the man who had promised to cherish his daughter and stay by her side forever. But things are different now. To me and my parents, my husband is just a traitor now. For sure. I remember Dad saying that.
Exactly. That means it's my car.
But now that we're divorced and you're a complete stranger, there's no obligation for gratitude anymore, is there?
What? Divorced?
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have noticed. That's right. We're divorced already.
Hey, what's with the sudden joke? We're divorced? Come on, what's with the jokes? Oh, wait. Are you mad I've been so busy and couldn't spend time with you? So you're just playing some runaway prank? And selling the car was part of it, right? Oh, so that's what it is. I was really worried for a second there. Enough with that. Just hurry up and get back in the car.
Looks like he really thought it was just some kind of prank. I decided to take a picture of the proof of sale that I kept when I sold the car and sent it to him in a text. Can you look at the photo I just sent? The car's model and license plate match, don't they? This is the proof. The dealership handled all the official paperwork, and it's legitimate.
What are you talking about? Are you seriously telling me you sold my car?
I've been saying that this whole time, haven't I? And it wasn't just the car that I sold. The house we lived in, I already sold that too.
Then where am I supposed to go? And what about my stuff?
If it's your stuff you're worried about, rest easy. I put it all in a nearby storage unit. Most of the appliances and furniture were mine anyway. But I didn't just throw anything away, don't worry.
Hold on. I'm hearing nothing but nonsense from you. You sold my car and house. Then you filed for divorce on top of that? You've got to be kidding me. You do know I could demand alimony if this is what you're after, right?
He must think I'd be terrified just by hearing the word alimony. Even over the phone, I can picture the smug grin on his face. I took this opportunity to scold my husband. Alimony? Are you serious? Alimony is going to be claimed against you, not me.
What? Are you even listening to yourself?
Do you really think I haven't noticed, Tom? You're cheating, aren't you? And with my sister, no less.
What? Huh? No, I mean, what? You think I'm cheating? There's no way I would.
Are you still denying it even after seeing this? I selected a portion of the evidence I had gathered and sent it over as a message. Having confirmed that, my husband let out a soundless voice over the phone.
What is this? How did you get those photos?
A little advice. If there's something you don't want people to see, don't just stuff it in your bag carelessly. And as for that divorce certificate, maybe you should have kept it somewhere safer. Better yet, maybe you shouldn't have filled it out in the first place.
No way. You actually submitted that divorce certificate.
What do you mean? Wasn't it already filled out? You were saying to my sister that you wanted a divorce from me. You're gonna divorce me for Rachel and the baby, right? Sounds like you were hoping to snag that house too. But that didn't work out, did it? Or did you forget? The house was registered under my name when we bought it.
Oh,
Yes, the new house we lived in was in my name. Although we briefly considered joint ownership, I earned a bit more at the time, so we decided it would be under me alone. Looking back, maybe he just wanted to avoid any potential risk for himself. Not that it matters now.
come on. This is too much. And I'm not even cheating. Sure, I visited Rachel, and we're close, but that's just because, well, she's a single mom, and I thought she could use some help.
Oh, really? If that's the case, doesn't this all seem strange to you?
What's strange about it? She's my sister-in-law and needed support. It's natural for family to help each other out.
Oh, really? So, the father of that baby isn't Tom, huh?
Of course not. What are you talking about?
But Tom, You texted Rachel, didn't you? I think it was something like, I can't wait to see you and our baby again.
How did you get that?
Looks like your phone's lock was pretty secure, but you were a bit careless, huh? If it's synced, you really should have locked your tablet too.
No. Are you telling me you saw everything we messaged?
That's right. So now I know how long you and Rachel have been involved, how often you met up, what you two got up to, and that the baby in those photos is yours and hers. Right?
No, I'm not saying that, Catherine. I didn't really want a divorce. Sure, I was cheating with Rachel. I admit that. But that was just because we had good physical chemistry. I met Rachel after we got married, and things were getting a bit dull between us. She said she wouldn't say anything, so I thought it was okay if it was just a little. But I never expected to have a kid. But now that it's happened, I can't just do nothing. She said if I didn't take care of her, she'd threatened to tell you. I was going through a lot too. And yet, this is the treatment I get.
It seems like my husband has no intention of taking responsibility. He may have come down from his high horse, but all I got was a bunch of excuses. He's just trying to pin all the blame on my sister while looking for a way out. His words only make my already frozen heart feel even colder. I'm glad. I don't think I'll be regretting submitting those divorce papers anytime soon.
What? You filed that divorce without my permission. I never agreed to a divorce, so it's invalid.
What are you even talking about? You filled it out yourself, so of course it's valid. It's been filed and accepted, and we're already legally separate. I've also consulted an attorney, and they're preparing to file for damages.
No, wait. This can't be happening. I never wanted to actually divorce you.
Then how about telling Rachel that?
What?
I don't want to divorce Catherine. The only reason I stayed with her is that we had good physical chemistry. Can you say that to her?
That's...
You can't, can you? After all the sappy words you've been throwing around. Rachel's totally bought into your act. Oh, and Tom, you've been funneling all your money to her instead of contributing to her household expenses, haven't you? Well, at least that meant Rachel stopped running to our parents for money all the time. So really, thanks for that.
Wait. Rachel's been borrowing money from mom and dad?
Yep, she'd cry, rage, and put on an act to make them feel guilty, always coming up with an excuse for why she needed cash. They thought she'd turned over a new leaf when she stopped coming around for handouts, but nope. It's just that she found a sucker to keep her afloat, and that sucker was you.
That's not fair. I'm not some sucker.
Oh, you didn't know?
Know what?
Rachel. She has another guy, you know?
What?
That was actually the most shocking thing to come out of the investigation. Rachel had someone else on the side the whole time. Judging by how often they met and how she acted around him, that guy was her real partner. Rachel is probably using the money she got from my husband on that guy. I don't really know the truth, but it's unclear whether the baby's real father is Tom or that man. My husband was likely told he was the father of that child. The confusion is evident in his voice over the phone, showing that he's struggling to grasp the reality of the situation.
Wait. Then what have I been doing all this time? I sacrificed everything for her, gave up spending on myself just to support Rachel. This is fraud.
Who knows? But you did make your own choices. You chose to put her and her kid above your wife. You chose to keep up an affair with her. So now you can deal with it.
Oh no. Why? How did it come to this? This wasn't part of my plan. I just wanted a little excitement in my stable life. It was never supposed to end in divorce. I thought I could keep my steady life with you and have a little side thrill, but it turns out I was just being used too. This is too cruel.
All I hear from you are selfish excuses. Are you really so good at making everything someone else's fault?
Are you actually saying I'm the one to blame? I was tricked. Rachel lied to me. She told me I was the baby's father, and she said she was in financial trouble. I was just being kind.
Kind? I had reached my limit with this man who could only make excuses at this point. Enough already. How far do you intend to disillusion me? Who's to blame? Of course, it's you. I don't care who deceived you or that you didn't mean to do this. It was you who chose to have an affair with another woman while you were married. It's nobody's fault but your own. How can you even say that now? Aren't you embarrassed?
Wait, Catherine. Please, let's just calm down and talk this out.
There's nothing to talk about. We're already divorced, so do me a favor and don't contact me ever again.
No, don't go. Catherine.
I heard him sobbing on the other end, but I felt nothing. In fact, it felt good. Ignoring his crying, I hung up and immediately dialed Rachel.
Hello, this is Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. It's Catherine.
Oh, Catherine? Long time no talk, girl. How ya been?
Clearly, she didn't know anything yet. As usual, she talked to me with that condescending tone of hers.
Heard you got married. So any kids yet? Guess not, huh? Lucky, though. A kid looking like you'd be a real tragedy. And has your husband ditched you yet? I wouldn't blame him if he did. You'd better watch out, Catherine. You're just as useless as always.
She must have known he was my husband when she got involved with Tom. Maybe she thinks I haven't figured it out yet, as she's deliberately trying to provoke me. Suppressing the laughter that was bubbling up inside me, I stated clearly, "Oh, no worries. We got divorced already."
What? Divorced? Wait, don't tell me. He already got sick of you, huh? Yeah, that tracks. You're lucky you even got married in the first place. Honestly, it's a miracle someone put up with you at all, even if just for a bit. Poor guy though, right?
She went on, blissfully unaware of the truth.
Hey, just FYI though, I couldn't be happier. So don't get too jealous now, okay?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you just had a baby after all.
How do you know about that? I haven't told anyone, not even mom and dad.
I know, of course. That's why I got a divorce because of it.
Wait, what are you talking about? What do you mean, because of it? That doesn't make any sense.
Rachel, there's no point in hiding it. I already know everything. You got pretty good at manipulating Tom, didn't you? Making him spend all that money trying to take over our new home.
What are you saying? Tom? Who's that? I don't know anyone by that name.
We've already done our homework. I have photos of Tom visiting your apartment, plus a shot of the three of you together with that baby you worked so hard to have.
No way. Then why didn't you say anything until now?
Isn't it obvious? I was waiting until the timing was just right to make sure you and Tom hit absolute rock bottom. Anything less wouldn't have been nearly as fun. I planned this all for the perfect finale. I've already sold the car Tom used and put that house up for sale too. and I'll be making sure both of you get slapped with a hefty compensation bill. So get ready.
Wait a minute. We're sisters, right? You can't seriously charge me compensation.
You've made a fool of me for so long, and now what are you saying? I've suffered because of your actions more times than I can count. Don't even try to act like we're sisters now. It's laughable. I don't see you as my sister or family at all. Just pay the alimony and stop with the nonsense.
No, no way. I can't. The baby's just been born. How can you expect me to pay compensation?
Ignoring Rachel's heartbreaking cries, I hung up the call without a second thought. I blocked my ex-husband too, cutting off all ties completely. Later, through my lawyer, I filed a compensation claim against both Tom and Rachel. According to my lawyer, the relationship between them has now hit rock bottom.
Why should I have to pay any compensation? That's ridiculous.
Don't make me laugh. You deceived me. You were seeing someone else, weren't you?
So what? It's not like I ever planned to be with you seriously. You're the one who got all serious and kept spending money on me.
Is that so? Then why don't you give me back all the money I spent on you? I'm dead broke because of you, and I don't even have enough to pay compensation.
That's your problem. I have a kid to take care of now, you know?
Like I care. I might not even be that kid's father.
So what if you're not? You were always doting on her anyway.
Shut up. If I hadn't met you, none of this would have happened.
Apparently, they're still locked in this pointless argument. Whatever their relationship turns into, it won't change the fact that they both have to pay compensation. Rachel, discarded by her main partner, once tried to rely on our parents and showed up at home. But of course, Dad and Mom were furious with her over the whole situation. They didn't let her in and turned her away at the front door. In the end, they disowned her. It seems my ex-husband's wrongdoings have gradually spread throughout his company, thanks to my friends, and now he's being looked at with disdain by everyone around him. Whatever they go through, it has nothing to do with me anymore. They can reap what they've sown and face the consequences of their actions. The only lingering worry I have is for Rachel's newborn baby. She's completely innocent, yet I can't help but wonder if her future will be filled with hardship. Still, she will always be my niece. Maybe someday I'll get a chance to meet her. Even now and forevermore, I hope she finds happiness